everyone, my name is Sean. I'm the Creative Services and Marketing Specialist here at Penn Highlands Community College. We're excited to have the ability to take just a few minutes of your time and highlight some of the great things happening in the Cambria County and Greater Johnstown area. Just to let you know, the goal for this series is to introduce you to a few folks in our community who are making a difference, including business people, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and more. And before we get started, I'd like to just take a moment to thank the Cambria Regional Chamber for their help in organizing and setting this up. So without further ado, we have Mike Hruska. Am I saying the last name right?
You got it.
Hruska. Okay. President and CEO of Problem Solutions here in Johnstown. Your wonderful page on your website says lots of great things about you. I hope they're all true. Guess we'll find out here in a second.
100%, right? And there's probably more too.
But I'll read this real quick. He started as a researcher at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, the founder of Problem Solutions. I read this quote from the website from Problem Solutions. I believe it's problemsolutions.com, correct?
.net.
.net. Sorry. Don't want to screw that up.
Don't go to problemsolutions.com.
Yeah.
Problemsolutions.net.
We'll stick with the .net. But it says, Mike's desire to spread technological change and innovation through his community is shown in his work as an advisor and mentor to education technology startups for GSV Capital, a board member of numerous nonprofits, and host of a monthly entrepreneurship meetups. And he speaks regularly on innovation, entrepreneurship, and leadership. So figured you're a good guy to have in and to kind of help us out in getting this thing started. So first, why don't you tell me a little bit about your story, how'd you get started, and maybe what brought you back to Johnstown with Problem Solutions?
Sure. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. I mean, I was working when I was 11 years old at my parents' convenience store. So I learned the idea that if you want something, you kind of got to work for it and got to get up every day and go after it. And I love reading and I love technology. And so I graduated from this building when it was Richland High
Crazy,
School.
right?
And went to Pitt Johnstown and got a degree there, and then went on to National Institute of Standards and Technology and was developing standards and tools and technologies and techniques. And my brother joined me there as a researcher associate. And we were working together on stuff, and we were doing some really cool work, but always had the passion for starting our own company. And so we looked at it and said, well, we could stay here in DC, or we could move somewhere else in the country, or we can come back to Cambria County and to Johnstown, and where our roots were, and where we knew there were a bunch of hardworking people that want to do cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so you're a boomerang, you left, you came back, and you touched on that. What really drew you to this area? You touched on the people and the hard workers. What more? Can you elaborate on that a little bit, on what kind of made you want to come back here and start your business?
Yeah, I think that we're unique in that we have a lot of spare parts here. We have 4 higher education institutions in the county, and plus others around here. We have an amazing set of outdoor recreation that is untouched. We don't have traffic. You don't have to make reservations most of the time for anything. And there's a lot of talent that's been attracted here from the defense community. And this is 2004, and I'm saying so many companies have built and grown stuff here, and they attracted people here, and they brought boomerangs back. We should do it there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's big enough to have these great spare parts to build with, but we're small enough where we have the connectivity as a community, where if you want to do something, you can do it, and you can reach out. And we, early on, when I came back, worked with a group to start the Young Professionals organization here.
Awesome. Which
brings people together for all kinds of wonderful events. Helped to get funding to start what it was Lift Johnstown, which is now Vision 2025. And so, there's an amazing opportunity in this community as a laboratory to build and experiment. And now we have Intuit in town for a corporate social responsibility program. They've chosen Johnstown, one of 3 sites in the country, to put money into as a laboratory to see how you can reinvigorate a city like ours.
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to talk more community stuff here in a couple minutes, but tell me a little more about Problem Solutions. What do you guys do? Yeah. What's your goals?
We're essentially what I would say are strategy, technology, and product mercenaries. I watched the A-Team when I was a kid. I love that show. And the idea of a really small, diverse special forces team taking on a really hard problem or challenge is something that's that I've seen in music and in technology as well. And so kind of think of ourselves as the A-Team for solving problems. So we work with government, we work with Fortune 500, we work with startups. we're really good at taking something from here to here
Okay.
to phone or something. So
Yeah.
taking an idea or research and turning it into something. So we work with large airlines and financial institutions to help them think better about how they grow and develop people using technology and design. But we also take ideas and build them into products.
Yeah.
We brought several products to market in the last 18 months. 6 of the companies that we worked with in the last few years were actually acquired or received a significant investment because of the technology that we built.
Oh, wow.
And that's mobile apps and Internet of Things and sensors and web applications and all kinds of software.
And that's all right here in Johnstown.
It's all right here in Johnstown.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We work for global customers right out of Johnstown.
That's so cool because all you hear is, there's nothing to do and there's no place to work and there's, no place to go. And right here, you got all of this going on with problem solutions. And I just think that's awesome. And it's so cool to be able to hear that and highlight it a little bit. I guess before we move on to more community-based stuff, because I know, you have a passion for that. I had a note here. Do you have a secret sauce? Do you have a principle that you live by? Is there something that you kind of hold on to tightly that has kind of helped you get to where you are today and becoming successful?
Yeah, I'd say the secret sauce has a couple ingredients. Ingredient number 1 is the day as a unit is way more important than months and weeks and years. And the Earth is traveling around the sun, right? But every day the sun goes up and the sun comes down, and there's a new possibility that next day. And if you take one on the chin one day, you got to wake up the next day with fire and keep moving. And I just think that being motivated and thinking that every day matters, not weekends, weekdays, every day you can do something to move anything along in your life, in your world, whether it's community or your business or some special project that you're working on. I think the other stuff is building a team is a really key thing for doing anything, and building the right team, and not too big of a team, but the right team with the right people and the right skill sets is something that people should really be conscious of in everything they do. And I think the metaphor for this is, when you were young, did you build a fort?
Everybody
built a fort. And what you learn, and there's a great book by Chris Hively, who's the founder of MapQuest, called Build the Fort. And it's like this thick. It's like an afternoon read. But it basically looks at every lesson that you ever learned in building a fort. Like, find a team, find a shared dream, build with what you have, find spare parts, trade and borrow for the things that you don't have that you do need. And it's fantastic. So I would encourage anybody, that's something that's really good.
That's cool.
And you remember what it felt like when you built a fort?
Oh my gosh, it's the greatest.
It's so fun. Think of every project in your life as a fort. Get up every day, do stuff, be smart about your team, and think of every project like a fort. Yeah. That's the key.
And what about the Build a Tree House book? Is that coming next? Is that part 2 in the series?
Well,
then you need a ladder and everything too. You could really, I don't know, there's some sort of lesson there, I'm sure.
I've played music my whole life. I quit college and was in professional music position for a period of time before I went back to school. And I look at it like building the band also. Yeah. But I think more people built fort. Everyone built a fort, not everyone built a band. So building the fort's good.
I like build a band too. I'm good with that. So what do you play? Guitar?
Guitar and bass and banjo and mandolin, slide guitar and harmonica.
Right. We'll talk more after this. Maybe we'll have a little jam session.
We should have started with it.
Yeah, I know. Right? What are we doing? We should have our guitars here. But so you're obviously extremely involved in our community. You talked about Lift Johnstown. You talked about the YPA. What things do you see happening in our area that maybe excites you right now? What's going on? Just all around Johnstown, Cambria County that you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah. There's a couple things. One is our organization. We have good organizations that are organized organizations. Okay. Wonderful, excellent, nonprofits that are around. But we have something new that I've seen happen in other cities that's been emerging over the last few years. So 6 years ago, I started, actually 6 years ago in 2 weeks, I started an entrepreneur meetup here. I thought maybe we'd have 15 or 20 people that might be interested in that subject. Today we have 419 people in the group. And we have monthly events, and it's just self-organizing, self-feeding group of people that say, I want to do something, I need help, I want to help someone do something, or I just want to be here and be part of a team or learn. Sure. And it's amazing to see that happen. But over the last few years, and if you go on meetup.com, you can see all the meetups in the Johnstown area. They're all on that site.
We could throw it. We'll throw the link up. What is it, meetup.com?
Meetup.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll give you some of the other links as well. So there's a leadership meetup, There's a sales meetup.
Okay.
There's a cybersecurity meetup. There's a project management meetup. So we have 5 really amazing communities, and we have a tech meetup too.
Okay.
So there's 6 amazing communities, plus there's more that have just emerged from people saying, I want to find more people like me and get together. Now that same thing has happened with young professionals. And that same thing has happened with Lift Johnstown, now Vision 2025. So the idea that I said earlier about we have spare parts, but we have connectivity. The fact that if you want to do something, just do it.
Yeah.
Find a couple people, put the team together, build the dream, and build the fort. And all these are little forts where people show up monthly to help each other grow. Cool. And I think that's just fantastic to see.
So cool. Yeah, and just real quick hitting, you're with Problem Solutions, got all this tech stuff. You got so many things you have going on, and you keep talking about technology and cybersecurity, and just to touch, we do have our computer information sciences programs here at Penn Highlands. Students can earn a degree that they can either go straight to the workforce, or they can move on to a bachelor's degree, master's degree, whatever they want to do. What advice can you give to maybe these students that are thinking about going into the tech field, into the computer field, and possibly coming here and earning some of these degrees? What advice can you give them?
I think there's a couple key things. So I started programming when I was in 2nd grade. I had this wonderful teacher, Mr. Allison, fantastic, made us do all kinds of interesting things. But he introduced us, and I learned BASIC, and I would just build stuff on my own. And I didn't really teach much coding in 1983.
Showing your age.
Yeah, but and I didn't have the internet, and until I was in high school, we started that BBS stuff. If people even know what that is, early stuff. Anyways, today everything is on the internet. It's all there, and if you're motivated and you're passionate about technology, you can learn and build anything. You can buy Arduinos for cheap. There's a ton of editors and tools that are free, and there's classes that are free or nearly free. So I would look for MOOCs, massively open online courseware, Coursera, Udemy, Udacity, and look out on the internet and just start doing it, because if you just wait to go to class, you're giving up on a valuable opportunity where you can be learning and building and doing something kind of every day, and then you can burn through school. But I'll tell you this, and I believe that the education is a really critical component of this too. But if you're amazing and you're in 11th grade, someone's going to hire you. If you're a genius or a skilled trade person at a special kind of craft, whether it's AI or machine learning or cybersecurity or whatever it is, people are going to do that. Education's super important, and you should go through that, but you can build your own craft and then get the educational backup for it.
That's cool.
So it's all there, and you're super lucky, and I wish I was 8 years old right now with the emergence of what's going on with technology.
Oh, that's cool. And like you said, take every day, as your opportunity. Wake up every morning as your opportunity to do something new and learn something. But our degrees, just to talk about them for a second, we have computer science, computer support specialist, information security and analysis, cybersecurity, network administration, server administration. So we got all types of CIS degrees. So if you're interested in those, please let us know or go online and check those out. So before I let you go ahead.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Build your GitHub profile so that when you talk to people, whether it's in education or jobs in the future, that you have code and examples to show. Build stuff that you're passionate about.
Cool.
Play with things. Build your own little forts.
I love it. That's great. Quick hitters for you. Favorite restaurant around town? Go.
So many.
Give me 2.
Oh.
3. Come on, I'm making it wider. You could get it.
I'll tell you where I'm eating tomorrow night.
Okay, where's that?
I'm eating at Balance tomorrow night.
Okay.
I have a good foodie friend coming in from out of town. Balance is a great new place. Chef there does wonderful stuff, and
I'll let you list off a couple others real quick, just
it.
So you don't feel anybody's left out.
Guilty pleasures, Capri Pizza.
Oh yeah.
With anchovies, Angelo downtown. I'll drive down there because he has the anchovies and he puts them on just the right way, and it's just so good.
Love it. Any pets?
I have 3 dogs, 3 Canaan dogs.
Okay.
C-A-N-A-A-N, like the Valley in Israel. They're like a super primitive breed, and they're totally a wolf.
What are their names?
Kamali, Mady, and Callie.
Love it. Favorite hobby around town?
Hobby around town. really enjoy the festivals we have. Like,
isn't it great?
Brews and Blues is coming up. The wine festival at Sandyvale is off the hook awesome. This weekend, or probably in the past for anybody else, the symphony is doing Queen at a steel mill.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
This is just amazing times.
Awesome.
There's something going on every weekend. Garlic Fest at Feranda's Farm in the summer is one of my favorites. They got garlic ice cream and all kinds of stuff there. Garlic cookies, garlic wings. You can buy garlic. There's garlic cooking shows. It's great. There's so much to do.
I'm guessing you like to cook as well, I'm guessing.
I love to cook. And I have, my wife and I have a food channel. And you can go to the number 2, gastronauts.com and follow our adventures, because when we're not in Johnstown, we're traveling to places, going to food festivals and restaurants, and creating media about that.
Super cool. Yeah. I mean, man, I tell that to people all the time around our area. The festivals and the food. I mean, you can't beat it around here. It's awesome, isn't it? It's just so
Slavic
fun.
Festival.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something literally every weekend.
It's
or
so cool.
2 things a weekend.
Yeah. I guess that's good. Anything I didn't ask that maybe I should have? You have anything you want to share? Just so we wrap it up.
You know, whenever I left this area, I said I'm never coming back.
And what did you know?
And I visited like 30 plus states over a few years, and I was living in the DC area, and I realized it's all kind of right here. What I was looking for was like here, but I had to go and search a bunch of other places.
Sure.
And, you know, I really am very glad, and it'll be 16 years in December that I've been back here, and I just love what has gone on in terms of transformation and growth. I think this area has had rough times and hit rock bottom at some point, but we are going like this, and we're starting to get in a glide path, and I like it.
Super cool. Awesome. Hey, I think that's all I got for you. So I just want to, Mike from Problem Solutions, just want to thank you for coming and chatting with us for a little bit, taking a few minutes out of your busy time. I know you're a busy guy. So yeah, thanks for coming, and yeah, look forward to talking to you soon, and look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Build the fort.
Forts. Love it.